Okay, you were a
BT2.
BT2. What year?
73 to 77 when I served.
And on the
USS Hawkins, 8873.
And what's your name?
David Gilliam.
Well, welcome aboard, David. Appreciate having you. And glad you could find us that row construction out there. Okay.
It was a challenge, but it was well worth it.
Well, great. So you work down here?
Yeah, this is the forward fire room. This was my station. I was actually the in charge of it because we had no one. I was a BT2, and there was no one that outranked me except the chief. And so I was actually this was my fire room. Yeah.
So what do you remember most about down here?
Mostly I remember on the other side over there sitting under the ladder where the cool air came down.
Pretty hot down here, huh?
These are soot blowers. These are used to blow the soot out of the tubes on the boilers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way we used to have. If the captain would let us, whenever we would pass a Soviet ship, we would blow soot on them. Sometimes he would let us, sometimes he wouldn't. But during my time in service, that's where we were. We spent most of our time tracking Soviet subs.
Right. So what's your step?
Burners.
You said it seems smaller now?
It seems smaller to me now, yeah.
Or are we bigger?
These are the periscopes where you can watch your stack to see if you're smoking.
Uh-huh.
This is your saturated steam, and this over here is your superheater. After you convert the steam to saturated steam, it could be reintroduced into another firebox and reheated up to 750 degrees. That's what we call it, superheated steam.
What kind of shifts did you work down here?
Pardon me?
What were your shifts? How long did you work?
We stood 4-hour watches. A lot of times we would stand 4 on, 6 off, and since there was even times when we were so undermanned, we would stand 4 on, 4 off.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the old EO engine order telegraph. That would give us our commands for. This is number 1 boiler, and this is number 2 boiler.
Point them out again.
This is number 1, boiler number 1, and this is boiler number 2. These are where we had our phones, and we had a 1 MC where we could talk to the main control and talk to the bridge. This is speed control for your forced draft blowers. The blowers that would provide air supply to the burners. You have 1 on each for each boiler. There's 4 of them. There's 2 forced draft blowers for each boiler. And this is where you can control the water level from the lower level. You actually had a man stationed, we call a check man, stationed on a level above us, and that was his duty was to keep the proper water level in the steam drum at all times. But if something happened to him, you could do it from here.
So how many worked in here at a time?
We had 3 or 4 men per watch. Had a top watch, a burner man, check man, and a messenger if we were lucky. The messenger of the watch was the one that went around and checked all the gauges and came back and reported to the top watch.
Okay, what are those?
Well, right here is the hatch that goes straight up on the deck.
Okay.
And there's always a good cool breeze coming down through there.
Okay.
We kept a 5-gallon bucket sitting right here, and this is where I spent most of my time, sitting on a 5-gallon bucket at the foot of this ladder.
And then what were these tubes down here with the levers on them?
Pardon me?
Right there.
These?
Mm-hmm.
These are the burners.
Okay.
This is what you put into this. Well, this is your burner. This is your burner tube. And it had square plates and nozzles that goes on the end of them. They're missing.
Okay.
They screwed. Normally they were kept in the burner bench over here. And you change burners every watch. You lay your burner right here. And there was a wrench, and you had different burner nozzles that fit in this right here. And each one of them were numbered. And there's an atomizer. There's a spray nozzle right there. And that would determine how much oil you put through the burner. And the more oil you put through it, of course, the more fire you had, you can see the different size of the orifice.
Mm-hmm. Just like you were working here yesterday, huh?
It comes back to us. It's really amazing how it comes back.
And then all of these?
This is your oil, your shut-off valve for each one of your burners.
Okay.
And then you got this one where you can turn it off, and then you've got this one where you turn it on individually at the burner itself. This is an air register. This opened up the air diffuser for each burner as you lit the burner. Had to open the air diffuser. We call them air registers. But this burner would fit right in here. And then this will tighten up. It's all rusted. It won't work.
You mean you can't light it off, huh?
Well, you wouldn't start with this one anyway. If you were going to light it off, you would start right here because this is next to your torch pit.
Okay.
That one springs up. But you would put the burner in here and your torch goes in right here. There we go. All right. This is what you do. It was soaked in diesel fuel and had a rag on it. You'd actually take a lighter or match or whatever and light it. Stick it in this hole right here and turn your oil on. And that would light the fires in the boiler.
You see, we still got a lot of work to do down here.
A lot.
Yep. But it is going to happen.
This is your fuel. This is where you control your fuel flow to the burner. You watch your burner man's job would be to stand here and watch this gauge, and he operated at 600 pounds. And as the steam pressure dropped off, he would open the valve a little and put a little more fuel in it. If it got above 600, he would close it off a little bit. This is kind of like you add a burner for coarse measures, and this is your fine measures, you know. I don't know what, I bet that's something they put in here. It looks like some kind of flooding alarm system put in after. These are Babcock and Wilcox M-type boilers, operated at 600 pounds per square inch pressure.
Say, this is what got you started on your life's work?
This is what set me on the path where I am now.
So how'd that happen? Tell me again how that transpired.
Well, after I got out of the Navy, the skills that I learned to put me in work at a major hospital in the power plant, as an operator. Then I was hired away from there to a commercial laundry. And then after a stint in the commercial laundry, the hospital hired me back as the plant engineer. And then my duties just were added upon more and more, and I ended up in charge of not only the physical plant, but laundry. And laundry is what led me to the position I am now in sales, commercial laundry equipment.
How long you been doing that?
30 years.
Oh.
Yep. A long time. It all goes back to being able to boil water. Okay. This is the electric fuel oil service pump. It was used if you were in a state which we call cold iron, where you had no steam generating at all on board ship, but in order to get the fire started, you had to have some fuel flow. So we used the electric fuel oil service pump. You either use it from shore power or from an emergency generator. But once you got the fuel flow going and got your boilers online and got steam pressure, then you switched over to the steam fuel oil service pump, which provided fuel oil service to your burners. You had 2 fuel oil service pumps, and up there's a fuel oil transfer pump that's used to transfer fuel. And then these were turbine-driven pumps. And then the bilge pump is a reciprocating pump. It's right behind you. You see the shaft.
Last time you were in one of these spots, like
One of
right
these?
here, right here.
35 years ago.
35 years ago, huh?
36 years ago now. Yeah. It's amazing how my memory's working.
I'm glad that I could bring you down.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
You gonna tell people about us?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got some friends that's funny.
I'll give you some brochures.
Since the advent of Facebook, several of my old buddies and I from the ship have gotten back reacquainted. And I'm going to tell them about it.
Great.
They'll know tonight about my trip on board.
Great.
Yeah.